The 100 today, how special was that, with everything going on, coming back here to the SCG?
Yeah, it's very special. I spoke to the guys the other day, and I haven't scored 100 at home, and or the MCG, and I was sort of talking myself out of it. I think in a way where I said I might as well not play those two tests 'cause I can't score a run there. But it was, it's great to get milestones, and it is 100. I've done my job for the team as well as I can. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is actually putting up a double century partnership there with Bucky, our first one. We bat very well together, and I think that's probably the highlight of today for me.
And just talk us through the moment when you hit 63, not out.
Yeah, as I said, it's always going to be in the back of my mind, and I'm always going to pay tribute to my little mate. And it was in the back of my mind the whole time whether I was going to be 63 or 100. I thought it through my head that I wanted to pay tribute to my mate, and how to do that was how I did that today. And every time I play here, I'll definitely be doing that.
Was it nice to do it in front of his family as well?
Yeah, I had a tear in my eye this morning when I walked out to warm up, and I saw Greg up in the stands and Megs, and it's fantastic for them to be here. The hurt that and the pain that they've gone through, and how much it would have hurt them to come back today. It's just courageous of them to be here, and I applaud them for making the effort to come down. It's fantastic.
How tough did you find it to focus just walking out, given all of what you've just spoken about?
Yeah, I was quite emotional at the opening or the anthems, the singing of the anthems. I think little tribute there beforehand sort of put those memories back in place, and seeing that little smile up on the board before going out there and singing the national anthem, it was quite hard. I had a minute to myself when I came back off before we went onto the field of play at the beginning of the day, and I had my head in the towel, and I had to dig deep and go out there and bat the way I know I can, and had to try and clear my mind. It was tough, but I got out there and I got back on the horse as we should be.
Dave, do you think that let off just before stumps for Watto might just be the sort of stroke of luck that he needs to sort of kick on tomorrow?
Yeah, I really hope it is. He's trained the house down the last couple of days. Unfortunate that he was sick one of the training sessions, but the amount of time and effort he puts into training is unbelievable, and he's one of the hardest trainers that I know on and off the field. He really deserves a big one to come out tomorrow, and hopefully he does get that big one. Him and Smithy are doing a fantastic job at the moment, and I hope both of them can pile on the runs tomorrow and put us in a great position for the game.
Battling a bit yesterday. I know he'd been sick, but you went up to him, I think, while he was sitting down at training and gave him a hug. What was going on there?
It's just the type of person I am. I'm a very humble guy. I thought he needed a hug, the big man. No, he was fine. We're having a bit of a laugh. Just sitting there, I think he was a little bit exhausted. But it's just one thing that a teammate does. If I see a mate that's down, I'll go over there and give him a little bit of a hug. But that was just playing it for the cameras, I think.
A good toss to win, but you made most of it. What would you like to say?
Yeah, lucky the coin fell our way, and that's what happens in cricket. The opposition either calls heads or tails, and one wins, one doesn't. At the moment, it was a fantastic toss to win. We're 2 for 3, I think 348. Fantastic position to be in. There was no swing. There was no sideways movement at all, so it was quite challenging for the bowlers. It's going to be challenging for us to take 10 wickets as well. Going to have to try and dry the runs up, bowl in good areas, and try and get those nicks and LBs. They didn't get their line and length right. There was no swing and no sideways movement. So, at the end of the day, you've got to try and dry up the runs somehow. And I think Virat will know the same thing. It's frustrating when the bowlers bowl both sides of the wicket. So it is hard to captain, I'm sure.
Dave, it's almost 6 years to the day since you made your international debut in the T20 in Melbourne. Can you believe your own transformation from that player then to someone now who's able to score 100 like that and like you have for the last 12 months?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far, and my early days in one-day cricket as well, I really wasn't comfortable. I didn't know how to go about it, but I think I was talking to Joe Burns today about being here and not playing in the Big Bash, how much better it is in the sense that you get a series where you can actually just relax and you're actually in one mode, And I find that with Test cricket and one-day cricket, you actually got. It's not about relaxing, it's about being comfortable in the process of how to go about your innings. You can actually have time to build your innings. You do in 2020 cricket, probably got one over, but in Test cricket and one-day cricket, you got a lot more time than you think. So, yeah, I think it's been great so far. Hopefully, I've got a long time to go ahead of myself, but yeah, scoring at a fast rate is something that I like to do. I like to take on the bowlers, as I've always said in the past. But there's going to be times where there's good bowling and you've got to try and nut that out in a way, and you have to respect good bowling.